In December 2015, a small group of engineers signed a pledge: build artificial intelligence that benefits all of humanity, not one company, not one government, not one person. No profit motive, they promised. Just safety and openness above everything else. 11 years later, that same nonprofit is racing toward a stock market debut that could value it at $1 trillion, a fortune bigger than the GDP of most countries on Earth. Somewhere between that pledge and that price tag, something changed. Figuring out exactly what happened, and who paid the price for it, is the story of how good intentions collide with the biggest technology race in history. OpenAI was founded in San Francisco by a small circle that included Sam Altman, Elon Musk, and researcher Ilya Sutskever, backed by a pledge of $1 billion in donations. The mission was explicit: prevent any single company, especially giants like Google, already dominating AI research, from controlling a technology powerful enough to reshape civilization. OpenAI structured itself as a non-profit, research published openly, for free, for anyone. Profit was never meant to be the point. That was the whole idea behind the name. For 3 years, that held. Then in 2018, Musk resigned from the board, citing a conflict between OpenAI's mission and his own AI ambitions at Tesla. His departure left a hole in leadership and in funding, since OpenAI's costs were already climbing into the hundreds of millions a year, far more than donations alone could sustain against a rival like Google with near-unlimited resources. So in 2019, OpenAI made the decision that would define its next decade. It restructured into a cap-profit company, keeping the non-profit board in ultimate control while opening the door for the first time to outside investors. The first check came from Microsoft, $1 billion. The cap-profit structure was a compromise. Outside investors could earn a return, but it was capped, and the non-profit board kept final say over everything. On paper, it worked. Microsoft's money funded the computing power to train ever-larger language models, GPT-3 in 2020, stunning researchers with what a bigger model could do, then GPT-4 in 2023, even more capable. But the moment that changed everything for the public came on November 30th, 2022, when OpenAI quietly released a free research preview called ChatGPT. It was supposed to be a low-key demo. Instead, it became the fastest-growing consumer application in history. 100 million users in under 2 months, faster than TikTok, faster than Instagram, faster than anything before it. Suddenly, a non-profit research lab was at the center of the biggest technology shift since the smartphone, racing Google, Meta, and a wave of well-funded startups desperate to catch up. Microsoft doubled down, eventually investing more than $10 billion total. OpenAI's valuation climbed from single-digit billions to tens of billions, then toward 100 billion in months. And the tension baked into OpenAI's structure, a non-profit mission wrapped around a company suddenly worth more than most airlines combined, started to show. Employees who joined to do safety research found themselves shipping consumer products on a breakneck schedule. Investors who'd poured in billions wanted growth and returns, not caution. The board, still legally bound to the non-profit mission, was caught in the middle. Something was going to give. It gave in November 2023. In a stunning weekend announcement, midway through OpenAI's first major developer conference, the non-profit board fired Sam Altman as CEO, saying he hadn't been consistently candid with them. No detailed explanation followed. Microsoft, OpenAI's biggest investor, had no board seat and no warning. Mira Murati was named interim CEO. Within a day, more than 700 of OpenAI's 770 employees signed a letter threatening to quit unless the board resigned and reinstated Altman, reportedly signed even by some who'd voted to remove him. Microsoft publicly offered to hire Altman and anyone who followed him. 5 days later, the board reversed course entirely. Altman was back, most of the board that fired him gone, replaced with members far friendlier to the company's commercial direction. The chaos didn't end there. Ilya Sutskever, the co-founder and chief scientist who'd voted to remove Altman, publicly said he regretted it. Within months, he left OpenAI, founding a new company, Safe Superintelligence, built around the safety-first principles he felt OpenAI was drifting from. That drift became official policy in 2025, when OpenAI restructured again, this time into a full-for-profit public benefit corporation, the original nonprofit stepping back into a supporting minority role. That's when the man who helped found it, gone for 7 years, came back in court. Elon Musk sued OpenAI and Altman, calling the restructuring a betrayal of the nonprofit mission he'd helped write in 2015. The case went to trial in April 2026. In May, a jury sided with OpenAI. Musk called the verdict a technicality and vowed to appeal. But for OpenAI, the legal path to becoming fully commercial was now, finally, clear. With the lawsuit behind it, OpenAI moved fast. By August 2026, its revenue run rate had topped $40 billion a year, more than most Fortune 500 companies, built almost entirely in the 4 years since ChatGPT launched. Reports now point to a fourth quarter 2026 IPO at a valuation approaching $1 trillion, one of the largest public debuts in history, dwarfing even the biggest tech IPOs before it. And it isn't racing alone. Anthropic, the safety-focused lab founded in 2021 by former OpenAI researchers who left over concerns the company was drifting from its mission, is reportedly eyeing its own IPO around the same time, at its own trillion-dollar class valuation. Along the way, cheaper rivals like China's DeepSeek shocked the market in early 2025, matching frontier performance at a fraction of the cost and briefly wiping hundreds of billions off U.S. tech valuations, only adding urgency to lock in dominance first. Two companies that once shared the exact same founding philosophy, built by people who worked in the same building, are now sprinting toward Wall Street against each other, each betting that being first or biggest matters more than being right. Here's the paradox at the center of this story. OpenAI was built explicitly to stop any one company from controlling transformative AI unchecked. Today, it's trying to become one of the most valuable companies that has ever existed, on any exchange in any industry. Was that always the plan? Protect the mission by winning the race outright, so nobody less careful gets there first? Or did the money simply outgrow the mission, one funding round and one crisis at a time, until nobody noticed the shift? There's no clean answer. The people who were there at the beginning don't even agree with each other anymore. What's certain? The decisions being made in OpenAI's boardroom right now will shape how artificial intelligence enters daily life for billions of people who never got a vote in any of it. Founded to keep one company from controlling AI, now trying to become the most valuable company in history. Mission or money? Tell me what you think below. And if you want more tech origin stories, the next one's one click away. Subscribe.